So we actually haven't started the interview yet. So just want you to relax. Just want to first thank you for being here today. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to do a quick introduction of this podcast show. Oh, I need to close this.
Take some pictures, John, please.
So I'm going to do a quick introduction of the podcast show. I'm going to do a very quick introduction of you, and then I'm just going to ask you a very simple question about kind of your personal background and your journey to America, and then we'll just really get into it. It's like we discussed earlier. The only thing we really want to do is just let our audience get to know you and know your story.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
And when I talk, do I look at you or like both? A little bit the camera, a little bit you?
A little bit of both. The main thing is this is mainly for iTunes, so there's no video. So the video is almost like behind the scenes, but I'll be looking there maybe while you're speaking, or I'll be looking at you. When you're speaking, if you start telling a story and you want to engage with the audience, just kind of look over there. Italians like to use their hands, so use your hands.
Again, yes.
Don't, just be yourself, use your hands, talk with a lot of emotion, all of that is fine.
All right.
Okay?
Cool.
All right, so welcome to the China Leadership Dilemma podcast, where once upon a time I thought being in the 1% of 1% will be sufficient to crush it in China. But a lack of awareness and empathy caused me to experience several unexpected disappointments that we now call CLDs, or China Leadership Dilemmas. My guest today is a very, very special guest, Giordano Carretta. He was born and raised in Rome, Italy, and the reason that he really doesn't know anything about China, but the reason that I have him on the show today is because he has an amazing story. He started off as a busboy and a waiter while working as a part-time soccer coach, and now he's discovered his passion and his business and a secret to lifelong health. He is now, as you can see by the suit, he is now a very successful business person and entrepreneur, and I'm very happy to have him as a guest on our show. Giordano,
Thank you.
can you just give our audience a kind of a quick introduction of why you came to America, when you came, and kind of just let everybody know where you started when you first came over to the U.S.
Perfect. So thanks for having me here. It's an honor for me to be here, and my name is Giordano Carretta. I was born and raised in Rome, Italy. I came to California back in 2012. I didn't know, to be honest, what I was gonna do here. I just knew from Italy that I had the desire to make a change in my life. I grew up in a country where money is always an issue for me, for my family, for my friends, and there's not many opportunities there. So I didn't know exactly how I was gonna make it, but I knew that coming to California in Orange County, where there are a lot of opportunities, I would find a way to make it happen. And
now, how old were you when you came?
I was 24.
So you had already graduated university in Italy?
Actually, this is funny. I did not have a degree. I just finished high school, and I did start university back in Italy, but then I just quit because I didn't think it was gonna take me where I wanted to be.
Okay, and were you a professional athlete in Italy?
Yes, I played soccer all my life, and I'm also a football player, which is a Brazilian sport.
Okay, and so you were 24 years old. You were kind of semi-professional athlete in Italy. Why did you suddenly think that I want to give up my life in Italy, move to United States, which is still a foreign country?
Yes. Well, because as I said, I had a dream to become a professional soccer player when I was a kid, and I trained all my life. And then I got injured, so I couldn't realize my dream as a soccer player. So I wanted to live a life without being worried about having to go to work every day and always struggling with money and time freedom. That's why I came here.
Okay. Now, did you come here on a one-way ticket, or did you come here for a vacation first? I mean, tell us the story about when you decided, okay, I've packed everything. I'm going to the U.S. and until I'm successful, I'm not going back to Italy.
Perfect. Yeah, so actually I think everything started back in 2006 when I came on vacation in San Diego for a month to study English and learn a little more about English, even if I already knew English from Italy. And when I came here for a month, when I came back to Italy, I always thought, if one day I will ever move out of Italy, there's only one place I would go, and it's California.
Yeah,
I fell in love, with the sun, with the people, with the weather, the opportunities, and everything I saw here.
Okay, so one of the amazing things about Giordano that compelled me to actually invite him in for a show is because a while back I had a sciatic nerve injury, and I was always, and since then I've been rehabilitating. I've been doing inversion therapy, and also I'm getting older, so I'm always researching ways to improve my health. And I met Giordano because somebody on his team introduced me to this amazing water. And we're actually not here to talk about water today, but this water, the significance of this water is this water has become integral to Giordano's life. In fact, he has completely changed the way that he works, and he's become a business person. So this story I've heard before, but can you tell me how you were first introduced to this, what we call Kangen water? And the story is great, but I'm gonna let you tell it.
Yes, so my story is actually kind of funny because I laugh every time I tell my story, because actually I got involved in this by accident, because I met a girl through an app called Tinder, which is a dating app, and it's pretty funny, if I think back then how this changed my life completely, And I remember, the first time I went out with this girl, I was kind of mad because I felt like she just wanted me to know about this product, and she didn't want to go on a date, which was the purpose of the app actually. And but then actually it turned out to change completely my life, and I was really interested in this product. And I purchased my machine just for my health, because I'm really into health. And then later on, I really saw the value of this company that completely changed.
So tell us about that first date.
So the first date, actually, the first thing we go to like a place where we're gonna grab some food and some drinks. And I remember I ordered tap water, which what I normally do. When I go to a bar, I order tap water. And the girl wouldn't drink it because she had a bottle. She brought her own water, and I thought she was really weird. Like, this girl is bringing her own water where we go out. What's so special about this water? And that's actually our first conversation. I was like, what's so special about that water that you wouldn't drink tap water? And she started telling me about this company from Japan that makes this really healthy water. And then we just end up going straight to the presentation, which was there in Irvine.
So you didn't go on a date?
No, we actually didn't go on a date, because even me, I was so attracted by this thing. I never heard about water, and I thought water was water.
No, did you have dinner?
We didn't even have dinner actually. we start talking about, it was pretty funny. We start talking about the water, and she told me, if you really want to learn, there is a presentation right here in Irvine. It's gonna start in about an hour. Do you wanna go? I'm like, let's go.
No, but you were at a restaurant getting ready to have dinner and started talking about water, and you didn't even order food?
We met at, it's a restaurant, but it was inside a gym called Equinox in Irvine, and it was a restaurant there. So we ordered the water, and then we went straight to the presentation, which was actually right there in Equinox.
And so on your first date, basically you ended up at a water presentation.
Yes.
And so what happened after the date? How did the date end? Were you both talking about water after the date, or were you talking about when are we going to have a real date?
We actually never end up talking about a real date, because maybe we didn't match. I don't know. We never felt we needed to talk about that, because I was so into the water and passionate about this and learning about this that we almost forgot, about our date. And then everybody went to his own way, we never date actually. We never date. We went straight to the presentation. I met my friend Colton over there, and I was inspired by him, and I wanted to learn exactly what he was doing. And then I became really good friend with him, and actually my sponsor was actually never there for me then, because we kind of like...
Now, did you know Colton before?
No.
You met him at the event?
Yeah, I met Colton at the event like back about 3.5 years ago, something like that. And that's what got me into this company, because I was kind of mad about the girl, you know. I'm like, oh, this girl just wanted me to introduce in this, but what I saw in my friend Colton was very inspiring, you know. Colton was delivering pizza, was a personal trainer, and he made it, you know, like as a businessman, and I was inspired.
Yeah, Colton was also a professional volleyball player.
Exactly, yeah, which is like kind of related with me, you know, because it was kind of like the same thing of me, you know.
Yeah, so I just want to give everybody kind of full disclosure. We're really here to understand Giordano's story of coming to the U.S., but as you've seen in my previous behind-the-scenes videos, I always give my guests this water, and I myself have purchased a machine, and now I'm also drinking this water kind of constantly. But for me, this is not my business, but this is Giordano's business. So I want to dive a little bit deeper. So you have now completely quit all of your other jobs.
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you still coach soccer or?
Yes, I still coach soccer a little bit on my spare time, because it's something that I love. You know, I grew up with soccer and I like giving back to the kids. But my full-time occupation is this.
You know, this is just an indicator of how times have changed. One of my favorite influencers is Gary Vaynerchuk. And he always talks about, you know, in order to be successful as an entrepreneur, you really don't need to go to school. It's all about how you can attract people and grab their attention.
I agree, 100%.
And Gary also talks about one thing is that the source of his success is how hard you're willing to work. And one of the things that I noticed about you is you're willing to work hard. And now you're kind of also coaching other people how to be successful in this business. So I was wondering, can you just talk a little bit about kind of what are your personal key success factors? I mean, how have you embraced this business and how are you making it successful?
Yes. So, I mean, the most important thing for me that took me on the way to the success is that I changed the people that I surround myself with, and I surround myself with like very successful people, and I stopped listening to my friends and my family, which I love all of them, but they didn't have the life that I was looking for. So I realized that I was listening from advices by people that didn't have the life I wanted. So, for example, you know, my family was telling me, you gotta go to school, you gotta finish university, you gotta get a degree, and then you gotta get a job. And as I said, I love my family with all my heart, but then I realized, okay, my family is always like, you know, struggling, complaining about money, stressed about having to work every day. So I'm like, why am I listening to these advices? You know, I gotta find someone that has exactly the life that I'm looking for and start listening to them. So this was the key for me for achieving success.
Well, now let me ask you this. Did somebody tell you to surround yourself with successful people, or is that something that you just discovered on your own?
I mean, I've been looking online, you know, videos, reading books about success and all that stuff, and that's one of the first advice. You know, and Gary Vaynerchuk is one of my favorite one too. You know, and as well as Robert Kiyosaki, Jordan Belfort, and all those people right here.
Yeah. So Gary basically says you need to just cut negative people out of your life. And I just read something. I think this morning where I can't even remember who it was, but they basically said there's this theory where you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Exactly. I was about to talk about that, exactly about that one, because you become like the 5 people you hang out the most with, and that's what I've learned, you know. And it looks pretty crazy, but it's true.
So can you tell us, other than your fiance, who are the 5 people that you kind of hang around most with these days?
Well, right now, like I try to surround myself with like very extremely successful people, which most of them are in this company actually, in the company named Enagic. And that's how I learned, that I start hanging out with them, see exactly what they do, how they live their life, what activities they do during their day, because if they make if they have all that success and they make all this income, they must be doing something different from what I do.
Right.
And that's what I learned the most,
I also want to talk a little bit about, when you first came and your first job was as a busboy?
Yes. Yes.
So
it was,
how did you even find that job? Were you even authorized to work in the United States?
Well, I'm lucky because I am a U.S. citizen because my grandmother was born in the United States, so I was able to get the citizenship. That's pretty lucky. I know that's really lucky.
Yeah.
And then it was really funny because I've never worked in a restaurant before, but I didn't know what to do here. I'm like, what do I do? I don't have a degree. I don't have. I'm learning English, but I'm not at that level yet. So the first place I went, was an Italian restaurant, and I told them I had experience in other restaurant, which wasn't true. But I'm like, okay, I'll just tell them I had experience. I worked before, and that's why they had me start as a busboy, because they told me, the Italian restaurant is different from Italy, so you gotta learn being a busboy. And I was a busboy for about 4 months, and then I got the promotion as a server.
To a server. So as a busboy, you actually don't have to talk to any customers.
No, but I still did because I know all the food, all the wine, and I'm from Italy, so people like that, and that's why they moved me as a server, because I was actually the one talking about the food the way they want it,
Okay. Can you share a little bit about when you first came over? You first came over for vacation.
Back in 2006, yes, for a month.
For a month, and then when you moved over here, did you come by yourself?
Yes, I came here by myself.
Was it a one-way ticket?
It was, I had the return ticket, but I didn't utilize it, because it's actually cheaper to buy the
round trip.
The round trip, yes.
Okay, so other than knowing that Southern California has great weather, did you notice any kind of major cultural differences between Americans and Italians? Because personally, I know that stereotypical Americans don't always have a great reputation in Europe.
I don't want to talk bad, about Americans, but yes, I did notice a lot of difference at the beginning, but some good difference and some bad difference. The good ones is that the way that Americans work and do business for me was unbelievable. I've never seen people working that hard, and everybody pretty much they make pretty good income, which the average person here is 3-4 times the salary that we get in Italy. That's just having a regular job, but people like to work hard here. They're willing to work hard their whole life in order to get their life together, which in Italy we lack a little bit about this because we're always eating most of the day. We like spending time with our friends and then also work a little bit.
Well, that's always a trade-off. If you work harder, you can earn more, but I think maybe in Italy you value more your family time and having long dinners and
very long.
Very long dinners.
Very long.
Okay, so how about the communication styles? I know Italians are very emotional and expressive with their hands. How about Americans? Do you find it easy to communicate with Americans and understand what they're saying? Are they more direct, less direct?
To be honest, I study English a lot in Italy, but I studied British English. So when I came here, I thought I knew English really well, but the first couple of months I couldn't understand what people were saying because it was actually so different from the English I studied, So it was very hard for me to communicate, but as you said, we move our hands a lot, so maybe it's easier to understand what we say, because we use our hands a lot. And maybe it's easier, we change the tone of our voice up and down, so it's easier to understand what we say, I believe. But for me to understand the Americans, it was a little harder at the beginning, but after a couple of months I picked it up.
Okay, Americans probably speak with a lot of slang.
Oh yeah. That's why I watch a lot of movies with subtitles, and I still do actually, because I gotta learn the slang, you know, like the things that they don't teach in school.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite American slang that you've learned that you like to use?
I mean, maybe like it's dope or like it's bomb, you know, like this food is bomb. I like it.
Yeah, you have to remember that you play the foot beach volleyball. What is it called?
It's called foot volley.
Foot volleyball. So you actually spend a lot of time at the beach.
Yes, I do.
So even people from, I mean, if you don't live in Southern California, the other 49 states, they also don't know the beach lingo. So that's a lot of slang from that. So also talk a little bit about, so with your business now, you've become really successful. I don't know if we want to disclose this. You just recently upgraded your vehicle to a nice Mercedes. So, we'll make sure you have all the Instagrams and social media links so you can connect with Giordano after the show. But I want to hear you talk more about you building your team for your business and kind of the things that you have learned not through education, but just through practical experience, how you are translating that and helping your team succeed now.
Yes. So the main thing I think about why I'm successful in this business is also because the project is an amazing project. So in our company, I believe you cannot achieve success if you don't help others achieving success. And this is the key for me, you know, because I focus a lot on helping my team make sure they have success so that I can have success. So, and that's what I've learned, you know, like even in the Bible it says, you know, the quality of our life is measured by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. And then when I found out about Enagic, which is all about helping other people make sure they have the best health, and I really believe in this, you know, because the mission of Enagic is actually not just like selling water, you know, like having a product, but helping people realizing what we call the true health. And the true health is like Mr. Oshiro said, is like physical health through our product, and then spiritual health by helping others, you know, that gives you peace of mind because you're helping other people. And then also financial health, because, you know, we always think that money is not important, but if you don't have all those three, I believe you're not gonna be healthy. For example, if you have physical health and peace of mind, but you're always stressed about your bills, how you're gonna pay your rent, you're still not gonna be completely healthy, you know. So, and that's what Enagic is all about. It's like helping people realizing the true health, and that's my mission actually, you know. And I see myself, you know, in this company.
You know, one of the things that you know, I'm actually relatively new to podcasting. I've only been doing it a couple months, and one of the things that we have to do is we always have to do research on our guests and be prepared. What city was Enagic founded? Was it Okinawa?
Enagic was founded in Osaka, Japan.
Oh, in Osaka, Japan.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was just, I just happened to read this magazine, and this magazine basically says how to live longer, better. I can give you this copy later, but basically, if you look at it, a city in Japan, I think it's Okinawa, is where people in the world live the longest.
Exactly.
And it has to have something to do with lifestyle and what you put in your body and stuff like that.
Yes, and actually Okinawa is also part of our company because Enagic owns a huge turmeric farm in Okinawa.
Yeah. So, can you talk a little bit about turmeric? Because, you know, when I was rehabilitating my kind of degenerative vertebrae, which was causing sciatic nerve pain, I was doing a lot of research, and I started drinking these blended smoothies. And some of the recipes you have to put turmeric in the smoothies. What are the benefits of turmeric?
Well, to me, like the benefits of turmeric is like it helps your liver a lot to produce more bile, which is function correctly. And then the most important thing, it helps with inflammation, is extremely antioxidant, which, you know, neutralize the free radicals in your body. and it's overall your health is gonna improve a lot. And in Japan, actually, they believe that the combination of this water and the turmeric, it gives you the best health you can possibly have, and longevity as well.
Okay. Are you eating turmeric or drinking turmeric?
Yes, our company has a product called Ukon, which is actually grows in Okinawa, which is the highest grade of turmeric on earth. And they produce like this powder in Okinawa, and they do the capsules with kangen water to preserve oxidation. So when you take it, it's like if you just picked it up.
You drink it or you mix it?
You can get like pills or like tea, and you can mix it with kangen water, or you can take the pills.
Yeah. So this is an interesting thing. You probably didn't know this, but my first job out of university was with a Japanese company. So I worked at a Japanese company for 4.5 years, and then later I joined another Japanese company, and I traveled a lot to Japan, and I know of Ukon, but we always drank a Ukon before we go out drinking because it helps prevent hangovers.
Yeah. I didn't want to say that, but it does.
Yeah, so the main application of Ukon is actually to prevent hangovers, and it's amazing. I get really bad headaches when I drink, so I don't drink much anymore, but I can remember going on these business trips in China, and I always have a packet of Ukon in my wallet, just in case I'm forced to go out drinking. I have to go to the bathroom, do a powder of Ukon, and then just drink it down before a night of drinking.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
Now, did you ever use Ukon to prevent a hangover?
No, actually, because I know the water actually helps you with hangover also, because the hangover, what it really is actually an extreme dehydration of your body. So when you're able to hydrate your body at a cellular level, you're not gonna get that headache that comes with the hangover. Mm-hmm. So drinking the water also, like before you go to sleep, helps a lot with hangover, and yes, I did that.
Okay, so basically, once you started this kind of new business, it's transformed your life, but you've only been in this business like what, 2 years?
Yeah, a little less than 2 years.
A little less than 2 years. So you're still young. You're under 30. So this is kind of like the beginning of a journey for you.
Yes.
Can you kind of try to imagine where do you think you're going to be, like in 5 years and in 10 years? Are you going to still be in this business? I know you're getting married soon. Are you going to raise kids in the U.S.? I mean, what does your future look like?
I mean, I think my future, I believe, is going to look great because, I see myself doing this for the rest of my life, because I really think I found something that I'm extremely passionate about, which is helping other people with health and make their families healthy. So I want to do this for the rest of my life, as long as this company is going to be here. But if I think that the company is older than me, that gives me good hope that it's going to be there for the rest of my life.
Okay, and how about I know you're engaged to be married, which probably means you're going to maybe think about having kids in the near future. Are you going to raise your children as Americans, or do you want to bring them back to Italy?
Yes, no, I think I'm gonna raise my future children as Americans, because I can't find a better place to live than California, but I think one of the reasons also why I love this business is that allows me to go back and forth, and travel the world without having to go to work like at the office, so I can do this anywhere in the world. So maybe in the future I want to still have my base here in California, but being able to go back to Italy as much as I want. As a matter of fact, I'm flying to Italy in about 2 days for a week, and I was just there for Christmas for about 2 months. I'm gonna go back for next Christmas. So yeah, I'm gonna live here and raise my kids here, but also, I want to go to Italy as much as I can.
Yeah, no, actually, I was getting ready to end the show, but since you mentioned it, your fiance's mother had some health issues that she was able to improve by you were able to help your fiance's mother.
Yes.
By introducing her to this water.
Yes, and that's actually the reason why I'm going to Italy. And I just want to say this, that we're not allowed to make any medical claims because the water does not cure or heal anything, but what the water does is gonna put your body in a state where the body can do what it does best, which is healing itself. And I believe in this because actually back in December, my girlfriend's mom was diagnosed with a tumor on the ovary, and we start giving her the water for about 3 to 4 months, and she had an appointment for surgery like 3 to 4 weeks ago, and it was crazy. They almost could not find the tumor anymore. It was like reducing, like almost was disappearing. And even the doctors were blown away. Like, what have you been doing? And she's only been drinking the water. So what happened is that now she told about this water to like a lot of people in Italy, and that's the reason why I'm flying there actually, because I have so many families that want to be helped, want to change their life, want to have the best health possible. So I'm gonna go there to show this product, how good this product is, and how we can change their life, but just by changing their water.
Yeah, that's just an amazing story. You can help people live healthier lives, and you can help them become wealthier by being part of the business. And I think that's just an amazing combination.
Yes, and and in our company we never talk about money, because we focus on the health, and we believe that if we focus on helping as many people as we can with their health and solve their problems, our problems will disappear. And that's why we have this amazing compensation plan that Mr. Oshiro created for us. But our company is like 90% focused on health, and our mission is to give people the best health. And I believe the money will come with it if you focus on this, which is helping people with their health.
Yeah, I think that's great. So one of the things that I always like to wrap up with is when I have guests we always want you to share with us kind of who are your influencers. I know you talk about your mentors a lot, people who are helping you in this business, who kind of trained you and supported you. But how about mentors that help you think more on a philosophical level? Like, this is how I should live my life. This is how I should approach my business. Who are some of these people that inspire you?
Okay. So the first one was actually Robert Kiyosaki. I read a lot of his books. The famous one is Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Cash Flow Quadrant. And this was my first one. And then I read many other books that talks about success, about network marketing. One of my favorite one is the Building an Empire by Brian Carruthers, which is actually like a map on how to succeed in network marketing. And just so you know, I listened to those books multiple times, because what I learned is that it's not about how many books you read, but how many times you read the best books.
Right.
And there is another one, like, I think the thing that completely changed my life in business is it's called The Straight Line Persuasion by Jordan Belfort. If you guys know who Jordan Belfort was the Wolf of Wall Street. So he did like a 12 hours course on how to sell, and how to be successful in sales, and that's changed my life. And I remember my mentor Colton, he gave that course to me, and he told me, I'm only gonna give it to you if you promise me that you're gonna do it 6 times in a row. Otherwise, I'm not gonna give it to you. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And I actually did. I did it 6 times in a row, 12-hour course, and it's completely changed my life. That was the most important one for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you one more question.
Yes.
One of the things that I do in my business is I mentor a lot of students, but also coach executives. One of the things that is so impressive about you is, and you tell people this, but they aren't able to do this, but you're also very, in American, we say very down to earth, but it also means that you're very humble. And it doesn't matter how successful you are, you're still willing to kind of get your hands dirty and to work hard. Where do you think that comes from? Like, even though now you're driving a Mercedes, your personality doesn't change at all. Where does that come from?
Well, this thing has to do with where I grew up, where we didn't have anything in life pretty much. So I didn't have any of this. So every time I look at myself right now and I see all the things I have, I remember the day when I did not have this, and I'm actually very passionate about helping people that have the same situation as I had before, you know. That's why I'm willing to do like the dirty job and like to do whatever it takes to help others, because I was there. You know, I started from the bottom. I came here with like no degree, no money. I didn't have any friends. I barely like speak English. So I really start from like the bottom, like from the lowest point that you can possibly start. And I think you'll never forget that, you know, like, because the best part of it is the journey. It's not like the destination, you know.
Yeah, well, thank you. I think you are a role model for a lot of, so I also work with a lot of students and younger people. I think you're a great role model of how to live your life and be successful in business.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so wave goodbye to the audience.
Thank you.
And,
And follow me on Instagram.
We'll make sure everybody has all the links, and you can follow Giordano. All right? Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Ciao.
Okay. All right. Great job.
Thanks.
Okay. We're just going to let it continue to record. We always do kind of like behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But I think that was great. You did a great job. And,
Thank you so much.
Great story. Completely unscripted. Like I said, I don't even really know what questions I'm going to ask you. I made a little preparation.
Yeah, no, but it was great. The questions were great. You know, like you lead me like to just tell my story. You know, and I like it. We didn't talk much about the money, which I like it. You know, we talked about like the mission and all that stuff.
Personally, it was an excuse. I wanted to hear more about the Tinder story.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I'm gonna shut down the camera, and this is gonna, like I said, this is gonna go out on iTunes and on YouTube.
So excited. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.